by SJBIT along with Prakriti Institute of Environmental Studies. That solid waste management rules 2016. It will be a beautiful presentation about how to manage the solid waste, all the things. Our speaker will continue with that. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sridhar sir. Dear friends, I welcome you all for this webinar session on behalf of Prakriti Institute of Environmental Studies. Prakriti Institute of Environmental Studies, it is only 1 year old. After our retirement, my retirement, I joined this organization as a chairman of this organization, and it is a one-point solution for all your environmental issues. Any regarding training, awareness, or any advice, consultancy on environmental institute, environmental related topics, you can contact Prakriti Institute. We are there to serve you. We are having 20 and odd experts in various fields. They will certainly help you to come out of your problems and to have a sustainable development. Thank you. Today we are discussing about Pollution Control Acts, Environmental Protection Acts and rules, and especially on Solid Waste Management Rules 2016. You can see this picture. It is taken by Voyager spacecraft. You can see the Saturn rings and a tiny dot. It is circled there. The tiny dot is nothing but our Mother Earth. We are about 7.6 billion people live in this great Earth and fighting for our own existence. So we have to maintain this Prakriti, nature, or Mother Earth, what we got from ancestors, and this is not ours. This is rented by or leased by our next generations and their next generation. So we have to respect the nature and we leave the Mother Earth as it is condition without changing or decaying or polluting it. So during 18th century, as you all know, we started industrialization throughout the globe, and there was a proverb say, without industries, we will perish. So because of industrialization, at that time, everyone was felt production, profit was main criteria. And environment was the last criteria and last priority. Whatever the pollution they generated or they caused, they were discharging the emissions, effluents outside the premises or outside to the lakes or river and started polluting it. In this background, the entire about 150 countries, they have assembled in Stockholm, that is known as Stockholm Conference. They all felt that we have to take some steps for conserving, preserving our environment. So the focus of this conference was the state of global environment and the relationship between economic, science and the environment in a political context. UNEP was formed at that time, and then 1974, we first act on environment, it has come. It is Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, and in 75 we have got the rules, and from 74 onwards only water pollution was the main criteria and we were giving more emphasis on that. Subsequently, it was felt that air pollution is also having importance, and during 1981 we got Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 and rules framed in 1983. After that, in between, we had Bhopal tragedy in 1984, and lakhs of people have affected. Hence, it was felt that Water and Air Acts are not adequate. We should go for an umbrella act known as Environment Protection Act. So, during 1986, we had Environment Protection Act, and under that, rules are framed and several rules have been come. About 9 rules have come under this act. Hazardous Waste Act, Biomedical Waste Act, Municipal Solid Waste Act, Recycled Plastic Manufacture and Usage Rules, Manufacture, Storage and Import of Hazardous Chemicals, Batteries Management Handling Rules 2001, Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, E-Waste Management and Handling Rules 2011, and C&D Waste Rules, Construction and Demolition Waste Rules 2016. If you see this 9 rules, out of 9, 6 rules have been amended during 2016, which are all having very important role in conserving our environment. That is hazardous waste, biomedical waste, municipal solid waste, recycled plastic rules, and then e-waste rules, and separate act C&D waste rules. In out of all these, this one, municipal solid waste was the rules for 3 acts. Subsequently, it was divided because it was felt that there was further need on this waste. So separate acts have been enacted on this. That is, say, recycled plastic rules in 2016 amended, C&D waste separate act on construction and demolition, and e-waste. They were all handled under municipal solid waste and hazardous waste rules. So what is the important definitions in Environment Protection Act? Environment includes land, water, air, and the interrelationship which expects green, water and air, human beings and other living creatures, plants, microorganisms and its property. If you say our Puranas, you can see Panchabhutas, Bhumi, Agni, Akasha. These are all constituted and they are all contributing towards environment. We have to conserve this. What is environment pollutant? Pollutant means any solid, liquid, gaseous substance present in such concentration. There may be presence of these particles or solid waste gaseous in such concentration as may be tend to be injurious to environment. If it is injurious to environment, it is known as environmental pollutant. It may be a sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, BOD, COD, heavy metals, whatever it may be. They are all, if it is exceeding, the concentration exceeds and injurious to environment, this is called pollutant. Environment pollution means the presence of environment pollutants in any environment, in any atmosphere or nature is known as any environmental pollution. Coming back to water presence in the world, we have 97.5% of water, salt water, and 2.5% of fresh water. Out of this 2.5%, only 0.3% is in lakes and rivers. It is only available water for our human consumption. 30.8% is in groundwater, and it is, if you are having over exploitation, you will get again pollution, arsenic pollution, heavy metal concentration, your dissolved solids also increase and causing pollution in the water. Slide hookilla. Hello. Slide. Okay. So your water balance, if you see water infiltration, if you're having impervious surface only 0%, like forest earlier period, your infiltration is more than 75%. If you started impervious surface, meadows, farming and all, your infiltration has come down. And if you are constructed, if you see last slide, this one, urban business district, multiple complexes, apartments, all those things, your runoff has increased and infiltration has come down. That's why our groundwater availability has increased from 100 to 200 feet to 1000 to 1500 feet. So coming back to water pollution, because of our scarcity of our water and all, discharge of polluted rivers, you can find fish kill. If there is a shipwreck or anything, you will find oil pollution in the lakes, rivers, sea and oceans, and discharge of effluents into sea, foaming and solid waste disposal indiscriminately. You can see the foaming in Delhi, and people are taking selfies, and some people are making puja also in this river Yamuna. And what are the sources of water pollution? There are two types of water pollution sources, point and non-point sources. Non-point sources are urban streets, suburban developments, rural homes, crop plants, animal feedlots. And point sources are factories and wastewater treatments, residential houses, etc. So to control this pollution, Water Act has come in 1974 and it has effective date is 23/3/74 and First Amendment in 78 and 91 Second Amendment has come, and this is applicable to industries and operation of process, local body and every person, that is you and me. Everyone is, the Water Act is applicable, and through our municipalities we are covered under this. So if you have plans properly for disposal of your wastewater, it may be a centralized treatment plant or decentralized treatment systems, compact decentralized treatment units, individual houses, individual factories. If you treat it and you discharge it to the standards stipulated by state pollution control boards, then you are achieving the goal. Coming to air pollution, it may be air natural or manufactured due to factories or your earthquake, volcanoes, craft fire, etc. That Air Act, as I told you, it has come into effect from 1981. It is extended to the whole of India. And definition is air pollutant means any solid, it may be particles, liquid, it is any acid means acids, gaseous, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, presence in the atmosphere in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to human beings or other living creatures or plants, property or environment is known as air pollutant. Hello. So air pollution may be from the emissions from the factories, vehicular pollution, emissions, exhaust emissions from the vehicles, burning of solid waste. It may be by fire, your dumps, solid waste dumps, all municipalities dumping. If burning is done, then it is also causing air pollution. Now we will go to what is solid waste, how to take care of solid waste management. Solid waste management, as I told you, first in the Supreme Court, Madam Almitra Patel has filed a case against all local bodies and Government of India and state governments on improper maintenance of solid waste during 96. Subsequently, Supreme Court directed the governments to enact, to form a notification and bring the act into picture for control of solid waste management and manage solid waste scientifically. So during 2000, first solid waste management rules have come, and subsequently it was amended, and we got recently in 2016 solid waste management rules have come. What is solid waste? Solid waste, as per the Act, solid waste means and includes solid or semi-solid domestic waste, sanitary waste, commercial waste. It may be hotels, commercial complexes, institutional waste from the colleges, schools, catering and market waste, city markets, and other residential waste, street sweeping, silt removed or collected from the drains, horticulture waste, agriculture or dairy waste, treated biomedical waste, excluding industrial waste, biomedical waste, e-waste, battery waste and radioactive waste generated in the area under the local authorities and other entities. Because this industrial waste, biomedical waste, e-waste, they are having their own separate act and rules, then that is covered under the respective acts and rules. What is local body? For solid waste management, the responsibility is local authorities or local bodies. Local body for the purpose of these rules means municipal corporation, Nagar Nigam, municipal councils, Nagarapalikas, etc. Even town panchayats, village panchayats, census towns, whoever names they are called in different states and union territories of India. What is the issues? Rapid urbanization, Uncollected solid waste is a public nuisance due to aesthetic considerations, public health, windblown dust, diseases can spread through the food chains. It may be corona or COVID-19, environmental damages, air pollution when gases are generated by decomposition of waste within an opened up or uncontrolled burning. How much waste is generated in our country? About 1,83,765 tons per day. That is about 67 million tons per annum. Out of this, 62 million tons is municipal solid waste, and only 75 to 80% of municipal solid waste gets collected. Out of this, only 20 to 25% is processed and treated. Remaining is disposed indiscriminately at dump yards. Actually, our consumption increases based on our personal consumptions. In New York, the waste generation, solid waste generation, it is more than 600, 700 grams per day per person. In Bangalore or Delhi, it may be 300 to 400 persons. In villages, it is less than that, 100 to 200 grams per person per day. So purchasing power and this packed foods, packed material, all those also contribute towards this solid waste generation. Now Amazon, Flipkart, you may be knowing, recycled bag for packages and all, so that in future we may generate less solid waste because of recycling. Per capita waste generation, as I have explained, it is increasing by 1.3% per annum, with urban population increasing between 3 to 3.5%. Yearly increase in waste generation is 5%. What is solid waste? It is having 47% of organic, 8% paper, 8% rubber, 1% metal, 1% glass, 5% rags, and inert is 30%. 30% inert we have to handle as construction and demolition waste, or your silt and all, it has to be separately stored in zero landfill. Organic waste, it is 47%. If you collect the organic waste, wet waste, kitchen waste, or canteen waste within 24 hours, and it is a resource. If you don't collect, and if you allow for your putrefaction and all, it will become a waste. So it has to be properly reused, recycling, recovery has to be done. The methodology, you can convert into fuel to energy, compost it, C&D waste products, and separation of paper, glass, tin, and plastic, etc., etc. About 28 different products we can recover from this solid waste. Our challenges: growing India, more waste with changed quality. Actual quantum and characteristics of waste is not very much known. Misplaced emphasis of land dumping, scarce of land, poor sanitation, public health, number or less resource recovery, informal sectors collecting partially, throwing the rest, centralized versus decentralized, financial and technical crunch at municipal authorities, uneducated, illiterate, and unaware public, and timings of collection and disposals. So these are all unscientific way of disposal. You can see how they are collecting and how they are disposing roadside. And you can see the segregation, door-to-door selection. It should be done in the house: wet waste, dry waste, inert waste, sanitary waste, biomedical waste. If you have 4-bin technology, then your segregation will improve, and collection, transportation also will improve. Open type of transportation is banned nowadays. That should be discouraged. Disposal also, you can see how they are disposing to stormwater drains, and stormwater drain, which is meant for rainwater, is carrying our solid waste and sewage because of so many factors. India GDP growth rate is 5.5%, manufacturing rate is 4%. Present scenario of solid waste is 62 million tons per annum. During 2031, it may be 165 million tons per annum. Land availability requirement is, at present we have 1240 hectares per year. We require 6,600 hectares. So solid waste, if you come to, as per Act What are the things I have already told? Generation, storage, collection, transfer and transport, processing and disposal of solid with best principles to health, conservation, economics, engineering, aesthetics, and environmental considerations. Solid waste management includes all administrative, financial, legal, planning, and engineering functions. Overall generation, problems not segregated, even if segregated, not being collected separately. Disposal of hospital waste, biomedical waste in the individual houses. If you take your insulin injections and all, it should be kept separately and it should be handed over properly. It should not be mixed with MSW, your battery cells, lights, tube lights, etc. And collection mechanism also, local bodies, irregularity should not be there. So that efficiency, if it's increased, your management will be more. This year, Mysore got award in top 5 cities for best management of solid waste in the country. So transportation, what are the issues we have in transportation? Inadequate number of collection and transport vehicles, not provided segregated bins, uncovered lorries, split garbage during spillages during transportation, routes are not planned. These things are taken care very scientifically, so it will be properly managed. Disposal also, we have few designated dumping yards. It is away from the city, and the location of dumping problem, local oppose, and everyone feels not NIMBY, as you know, not in my backyard. Nobody likes to have a solid waste disposal site near to their houses. It may, because of unscientific management of the waste. So outsourcing. So local bodies, they outsource to some contractors, and if they are not taking properly and treat it in respective places, if they dump outside, that is also causing problem. Look at responsibility will be given to contractor to dispose. That also there may be some irregularities. So if you come to our solid waste management rules 2016, it has enacted in 2017, about 25 rules. Provisions are there. Schedule 1 specifications are there. Schedule 2 standards for processing is there, and forms 1 to 6 are authorization formats and all. You can download from MOEF website or Karnataka State Pollution Control Board website what all the solid waste rules, and you can go through that. And you can, if engineering students are in this participants, they can take a project on solid waste management, scientific disposals, and methodology to improve, leachate analysis, all different types of projects they can do, and they can suggest the government or concerned people for proper disposal and handling of solid waste. Now, when compared to 2000 rules, what all the features they have adopted here is polluter principle has been introduced, and user fee spot fine introduced. Spot fine, you may be knowing, some 500 rupees for disposal near the main roads and all, it is included. And 6R principle, reduce, reuse, recover, recycle, refine, and remanufacture introduced. Cradle to grave, extended analysis, extended producer's responsibility. So, for example, your Samsung TV or some TV manufacturer, it is his responsibility to take back the solid wastes, and he has to process or he has to transfer to the concerned people for further scientific disposal. That is introduced in salient features. And recyclables should go to recycling. Concept of reuse, recovery, and circular economy is also introduced in this salient features. And revised stringent environmental norms for incineration is introduced. Standards for waste to energy projects introduced. Standards for dioxin and furans. Earlier, dioxin and furans incineration was not there. If any plastic having chlorinated plastic burn, dioxins will generate. For that, there was no standards. Now standards have been introduced. So any waste to energy projects, they should have facility for monitoring of dioxins and furans, and that should be controlled as per norms by providing proper pollution control measures, air pollution control measures. And PPP introduced, private public partnerships also introduced, certain new conditions for manufacture and usage of plastic materials for producing under plastic rules, it is introduced. And implementation, by state pollution control boards. Ambit of applicability. Who are all covered? As I told, everyone is covered, but separately it is mentioned here: urban local bodies, notified areas, areas under control of railways, airports, it is their responsibility, individual responsibility. Defense establishment, special economic zones, smart cities, state and central government organizations, pilgrimage, temples and all. The temple responsibility should have, they should have solid waste management facility, either composting or organic waste converters, segregation, all those, it is their responsibility. And every domestic, institutional, commercial and residential solid waste generator situated in the areas. Generator. It is rule 4. If you go through the rules, you can see rule 4 tells what is the responsibility of generator. Means I and you, not to throw, bury solid waste on streets, parks, open spaces, outside his premises, or throw into drains, water bodies, and it should be segregated properly, like wet, dry, domestic hazardous waste, and it should be stored securely, and the C&D waste and horticulture and garden waste and disposed as directed by local authorities. It is in abroad and foreign countries, you can see they will attach on trolley or trailer. They take all their tree cuttings, etc. And it is their responsibility to dispose to solid waste dump sites. That those things are also should be planned by local bodies in our country also. Hand over the authorized person, waste pickers, waste collector responsibly. You can see in the roads, some people, they work in nights and they come back and they go in cars or motorbikes and they carry some plastic carry bag with waste and dump by the roadside and they go. That should be stopped. That should be, they should hand over to authorized persons, waste pickers responsibly, instead of dumping or throwing roadside. We have in Karnataka State Pollution Control Board, we have made a survey during 2018, about 870 gray spots, hot spots, we have identified where this type of indiscriminate dumping of solid waste by local public was observed. This 800 and odd, these are all the hot spots. That should be discouraged, both municipalities and common person and nearby people also. And sanitary waste to be wrapped in pouches securely and or with non-biodegradables. Pay user fee as per the bylaws, and local bodies should be informed regarding functions, etc., to take care of plastic waste and etc. properly. Resident welfare in apartments and market association, gated communities, institutions which are having more than 5,000 square meter, that is 50,000 square feet, hotels, they should implement this waste management within 1 year. And it should proper demarcation should be done, and organic waste converter and all etc. should be provided. Then if you come to responsibility of government agencies, central ministry, MOF, Ministry of Environment and Forest, they actually form this act and rule. It is overall responsibility. Ministry of Urban Development, that is their responsibility on solid waste management, waste to energy, all. And the Ministry of Chemical Fertilizers, promote and co-market city compost, and Ministry of Agriculture, promote utilization of compost on farmland, test quality, guidelines for quality of compost. Ministry of Petroleum, Power, and the power from waste to energy plants, tariff charges are to be considerably properly managed, and compulsory purchase of power also should be managed. MNRE, they should support. Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy, they should support subsidy and all incentives they should give for waste to energy plants, and they should encourage those type of activities. State authority, state government, urban development department is overall implementing, secretary is in charge of the state policies and solid waste management, direct the town planning departments, ensure land allocation, and all local bodies, capacity building of local bodies, buffer zones, these things should be, they have to see responsibilities. Deputy commissioner in districts, he is the responsible person. Secretary is responsible for village panchayats. Local bodies, that is rule 15, 37 duties are explained, that You can see door-to-door collection, waste pickers recognition, material recovery facilities, waste deposition centers, training to waste pickers, create public awareness, educate workers, and PPEs, and all those things they should take. And village authorities, this is also mentioned in this, in stop landfilling, only non-usable, recyclable waste, non-recyclable waste to go to landfill, phase out the fertilizers in parks, and practice decentralized treatment process of solid waste, make adequate provision of funds for solid. This is a neglected field. They don't properly allocate funds for solid waste management. This should be having priority and it should be managed properly. And PPP they should encourage local people, and authorization, annual reports, and old dump sites, if they are having it, within 5 years they should close and convert into human use. And they have done what is the collection and transportation mechanism. 6 streams they have been identified and notified. Stream 1, biodegradable waste. Stream 2, non-biodegradable dry waste. Stream 3, street sweeping and silt from the drains. Domestic hazardous waste. Construction and demolition waste, separate act. It should be horticulture and garden waste. Collect and transport separately, send it for processing locally or centrally. You can see the picture. This is taken in Bengaluru, some solid waste near Hoskote, solid waste dump site, lot of flies, dogs and all you can see. This is a freshly arrived municipal solid waste. This is how they are processing. You can see this is and this is not a segregated waste. This is unsegregated waste, and which is not practiced properly. You can see plastic, paper, all those things. So what you have to do? Biodegradable waste, how to convert? Window formation. First you have to form windrows, and you have to segregate it, and it should be stored separately in the monsoon to avoid any rains and all. Then segregation, of course, by screens, then refinement, then end product will be powdery form, and it should be packed and send it. You can see how they are shredder and separated. After segregation, how it looks like segregated organic matter after initial processing. Only they have removed your magnetic separator, iron things, and coarse materials, and the plastic and all. How this is segregated organic matter after initial processing. You can see what all the segregated. It may be chappals, cloths, plastic, glass. I was telling you, about 28 types of items they have segregated, and they have properly handled and disposed to recyclers. This is a advanced filtering for fuel briquettes and organic manure. This you can see organic manure after sieving. This is the final product. You can see this. You can analyze the quality for NPK and all. If it is suitable for manure directly, you can pack it and send it. If it is not suitable, you can add some ingredients or additives to make it convert into organic manure, and then it should be packed and sent to your plantation. And as earlier, Ministry of Agriculture is having responsibility to promote. You can contact them. They will help you out. This is a good project. Students can take for this one forward. Revised regulatory regime. Earlier, when compared to 2000, this is the revised one. Monitoring mechanism has been strengthened. Pollution Control Board has to monitor groundwater, leachates, and all throughout all around the areas of the dumping sites. And ROHs include co-processing introduced industrial units located within 100 kilometers from refuse-derived fuel, like cement factories and all. They should encourage waste-to-energy plants based on, and they should replace their coal and all up to 5% for using a substitute for coal within 6 months. Department in charge of allocation of land should provide, UD has to provide land and notify such areas. As you all know, in Karnataka, we have 5 co-processing industries in Gulbarga, like cement, ACC, Vasavadatta, Rajashri and all. They are accepting the waste from different parts of state. Even our new note press, Mysore, they are sending their ETP sludge and all to cement factories at Gulbarga by transportation. And this type of methodology they have to adopt and reduce the waste generation, disposal, and consumption of fossil fuels like coal, etc. Duties of Central Pollution Control Board. Central Pollution Control Board is a monitoring agency for the entire country. They coordinate with SPCBs and pollution control committees for implementation, formulate standards for groundwater, ambient air, noise, leachate, etc. And they review what are the standards, and once in a year implementing revised proposals of SPCB, new technologies, they approve it, annual reports they review and submit to government, and they publish guidelines, buffer zones, intent state, movement of waste. SPCB, State Pollution Control Boards, and Pollution Control Committees. These pollution control committees, PCCs, are located in union territories, and they will take care of pollution aspects, and State Pollution Control Boards take care of respective states. They, through local body, actually local body is the prime responsible. This enforcement and management, it will be looked after by State Pollution Control Boards, and monitor of environment standards as per Schedule 1 and 2, examine it and issue authorization within 60 days, synchronize the validity of consents for operation of factories or solid waste facilities, renew it every 5 years, and if any lacuna is observed, direction for safe handling hazardous waste also, and CPCB for standards and new technologies, regulate interstate movement, and annual report should be submitted by 31st July. Extended producers like our TV companies or your garment industries, so that is brand owners, their responsibility are also specified in this act, that manufacturer brand owners to provide financial assistance to local authorities to establish waste management systems. Manufacturers of products in non-biodegradable package need to collect back the packaging waste. Now, as I explained earlier, Amazon, Flipkart, all those things, they are planning to take back their packaging waste. Manufacturers and brand owners of sanitary napkins, diapers shall use recyclable material or provide a pouch wrapper in their pocket for disposal of napkins daily, and educate the masses for wrapping and disposals. This is the responsibility of EPRs. For hilly areas also, they have stipulated avoid landfills in hilly area because it may fall and runoff may bring down to land, and it will cause another pollution. So set up waste transfer stations in towns. In case of no plain land, use regional facilities for landfill, regulate tourists for plastic waste, create awareness, charge levy at entry point, substitute with paper instead of plastic, substitute with cloth or paper covers, identify space for decentralized processing of waste. Report submission. This is as per Act. Central Monitoring Committee under Secretary MOEF, he reviews once in a year. State level advisory committee, it is so Justice Subhash Adi is heading in Karnataka. State level advisory committee, and under the Secretary UD is also heading that. Review is once in 6 months by pollution control boards, suggest state governments for appropriate actions. Under NGT, NGT has ordered state governments to have a separate body, and Justice Adi, Subhash Adi, is heading one separate committee for monitoring the all implementations. Technological options. These things law. Now, what are the technological availability? So, biomethanization for wet biodegradable waste. It is for generation of gases and using for producing energy. And microbial windrows, mechanized vermicomposting. Agriculture college is supporting for vermicomposting. You can contact them. They will guide what types of worms should be used, how to manage your windrows and all, how to treat biodegradable waste, and preparation of briquettes, pellets, fluff, RDFs from non-recyclable, high-calorie values. As you know, cotton waste, rags and all, it will be having a calorific value of more than 1,500 kilocalories per hour. So this type of waste, instead of dumping to solid waste dump sites, that can be separated as RDF and they should be given to cement plants. Here, one agency in Bangalore, Sahasa and Hasirudala, they are converting this type of waste and they are converting to RDF and they are disposing to cement factories in Bangalore. If anybody is interested, they can see the facilities, their facilities, and also that type of facilities they can install or improve or implement in their premises also. And incineration, gasification, pyrolysis for non-recyclable, high calorific value combustible waste. Plastic waste to liquid fuel are used as raw material in constructions. Criteria for waste to energy projects. Non-recyclable waste having calorific value more than 1500 kilocalories per kg shall not be landfilled and used for energy recovery. High calorific value waste shall be co-processed. Waste to energy plant more than 5 TPD shall obtain authorization from state pollution control boards, and they have to give the SPCB has to examine and issue authorizations. You can see this picture shows how waste to fuel energy unit is operating, recycled waste, reused fraction, inert to ashes are separated out, low temperature steams and commercial syngases and gas engines, then turbines and heat export. You can see gas to electricity, gas engines, combustion of the clean syngas to produce electricity with high efficiency, steam turbine, steam generated in heat recovery, and is used to feed combined cycle steam turbine and produce power. In Schedule 1, they have provided about the specification for landfills. This is inert waste disposal area. You can see how they have made that plastic about 25 micron thickness plastic sheet is laid before prior to that land is properly leveled, compacted. I don't. You can see landfilling shall be restricted to non-biodegradable inert waste and other waste that are not suitable either for recycling or for biological process. Only this law that 20-30% what we are getting out of total solid waste that should be taken to this type of disposal. Schedule 2, it gives the standards for standards for waste processing, treatment and disposal facilities, standard for composting and specifications of quality compost, standards for treated leachates, standards for incineration. The local bodies, whatever they generate leachates from solid waste dump sites, that should be treated properly, and that treated leachate should meet the standards. That standards also stipulated in Schedule 2. And the incineration, PM 50 milligrams per normal meter cube is stipulated, dioxins and furans are stipulated. Earlier that standard was 150 milligrams, now more stringent they have made, so that air pollution control equipment should be provided for reducing the emissions. So now after solid waste management, I will touch upon few slides on plastic management rules 2016. These rules are called as plastic waste management rules 2016. It has come in March 11th of 2016. These rules applicable to every waste generator, local body, gram panchayat, manufacturers, importers and producers. Carry bag. Here you may be having some idea about carry bag, but as per definition, carry bag means bags made from plastic material or compostable plastic material used for the purpose of carrying or dispensing commodities which have a self-carrying feature but do not include bags that constitute or form an integral part of packaging in which goods are sealed prior to use. For example, your Ashirwad wheat powder or atta, that is integrated package. So it is, if it is an integral package, it is exempted. If it is not a separate carry bag, it is Karnataka state from 16th of March 2016 completely banned carry bags usage. Compostable plastic means plastic that undergoes degradation of biological processes during composting to yield carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, biomass, adherent constituent with other known combustible, excluding conventional petrol-based plastics, does not leave visible distinct toxic residues. EPR, extended producer, means the responsibility of producer for the environmentally sound management of the product until the end of its life, like TV, washing machine, whatever it is, that is EPR. It is the responsibility. Batteries, they should take back and they have to dispose scientifically. So plastic waste generation in 60 major cities is 4,559 tons per day. Plastic waste in Delhi itself 689. Estimated plastic waste generation is 25,000. Recyclable, out of this 94%. Non-recyclable is 6%. It ranges 3.1% in Chandigarh, 12.4% in Surat, in out of MSW. Average plastic waste is 6.92%, approximately 7%. You can see phase out of lightweight plastic bags. In Africa, almost all the countries they have done. In Asia, about 10 countries they have done. In Europe, about 15 countries they have done. Like these are all thin plastics, single-use plastics, like plastic bottles or spoons, all those things which is not recycled. That is thin plastics, and single-use plastics are gradually they are discouraging. North America, South America. See how ocean pollution because of plastics. Plastic input in oceans. You can see where the countries and ocean, wherever you can see this, how much plastic waste is disposed, input into oceans. How that seal is plastic is eaten by tortoise. One bird opened, you can see syringe and all. Plastic urban flooding. Plastic ban story. If you see 1999, we started with recycled plastic manufacturing rules. You say 1999, and then 86 Environment Protection Act came. 2011 plastic waste rules came. 2016 plastic ban notification by Karnataka government. Banned in Lalbagh and Kapan Park, Jungle Lodges, Chamaraj Zoo, National Park, Chamundi Hills. All those things were banned during 2003, and even Ooty. 2015 draft plastic, 2018 corrigendum was issued on what should be banned, what not to be banned. This is a order you can see in our websites, pollution control websites, or MPRI websites, or MOF. What are the items banned? Plastic bag, plastic banners, plastic buntings, flex, plastic plates, plastic flags, plastic cups, plastic spoons, cling films, plastic sheets used for spreading on dining tables, straws, etc. This is irrespective of thickness because they are all single-use plastics. So, and plastic thermocol and microbeads. And there is some exception also out of this. If they are manufacturing in special economic zone and for 100% EOU, it is allowed. Plastic bag that constitute an integral part of packaging, that is like your Shirwada Atta, lace packet, all those things. It against government orders, it is allowed, and used for packing milk and milk products is allowed. This is offences. If any offence is enforced by commissioners, deputy commissioners, city corporation commissioners, pollution control board officers. What are the banned plastics? You can see here. What are the banned and alternatives? Bags, you have to take care of your bags. Paper, cloth, flags, steel, ceramic, and stainless steel, glass. Paper cloth on the sheets, paper sheets on the table. Then another branch of municipal solid waste is construction and demolition waste management rules 2016. As government felt only municipal solid waste cannot take care, they wanted a separate dedicated act and rules for construction and demolition waste because of urbanization in rampantly. And this is separate act. It is applicable. What is this waste? You can see here. complexes, apartments, building this one. You can see unsafe constructions, poor quality of construction, non-engineered, poor quality of disposal. Earlier it was mixed with our solid waste and dumped in these sites. You can see here, if you visit to Hoskote area, Mandur is there. You can go and see how much solid waste is dumped there and how it is causing nuisance in that area. So this is all, and the transporter or contractor, he used to dispose the solid waste by the side of roads and clogging of storm waters, and it was also causing. What is C&D waste? Your building renovation waste 40%, demolition waste 50%, and new construction, soil and silt, all those things about 10%. Definition as per rules. Construction demolition waste means the waste comprising of building material, debris, rubble resulting from construction, remodeling, repair and demolition of any civil structures. Construction means the process of erecting of building or built facilities or other structures, building infrastructure including alteration in these entities. Demolition means breaking down or tearing down of building structures either manually or using mechanical force by implosion using explosives. Waste, who is the waste generator? Any person, we are all waste generators. If you are having construction, residential or commercial building, you are a waste generator. Railways, airport, port, harbor, defense establishments who undertake construction, they are all waste generators. What is duties of us, ours? Responsible, we are responsible for collection and segregation of Okay, thank you. So it is our responsibility to collection, segregation of waste, soil or other storage, construction, demolition waste. If you are generating more than 20 tons per day or 300 tons per project, you should have plans for segregation of concrete, soil, steel, wood and plastics, brick and mortar, and shall have a proper waste management, solid waste management plan, and it should be approved by appropriate authorities or local authorities before starting of construction. Like your big apartments and all, they are seeking approvals from BBMP for their solid waste management plan, and regarding relevant activities from the planning stage to the implementation stage, and they should maintain proper documentation also. Shall keep the construction within the premises. It should not be disposed outside, and get the waste deposited in collection centers, so made by the local body, or hand over it to them. Authorized processing facilities in BBMP. At present, near Bangalore International Airport, we have one collection facility. It is having 1,000 tons of processing per day. At present, everyone is disposing to that facility. And BBMP is planning to decentralize this and have local small facilities to cater the needs of local area. For example, in southern areas, western side, eastern side, like this they are planning, and it is already notification is issued by BBMP for identification of sites and all. And they have to, that generator has to pay relevant charges for collection, transportation, processing and disposal. Duties of service provider. Who is service provider? Local body. Then the BBMP or any municipality, they shall prepare within 6 months from the date of these rules a comprehensive waste management plan and what is to be done, and shall remove all waste, clean the area every day possible depending upon the duration of the works, quantity, a responsible time frame shall be worked out. And in case of service provider have no logistic support work, they should tie up with authorized agencies for removal. Duties of local body, it is again issue detailed directions with regard to proper management of waste, shall get collected waste transported to appropriate sites, shall give appropriate incentives for generator salvaging and processing of the plastic, shall examine and sanction the waste management plan to the generators within 1 month, shall create storage, processing and recycling facilities and operate by engaging complete. What are the types of construction waste? As I told you, new construction 10, renovation 40, demolition 50. What all the things, ingredients in the C&D waste? Concrete, glass, sand, aggregate, steel, brick, timber, water, plastic, ceramics, paint, sanitary ware, plaster of Paris. All these things all come. You can see the picture. What all this one consists of? Composition. 65% is concrete, 25% bricks and tiles, and these others are wood, metal, are very 5 to 2%. It varies on the existing buildings. You can see the what are the things available in the C&D waste. What is the hierarchy? You have first thing, you have to reduce, minimize the waste generation. You have to reuse whatever is available. You can reuse it. Use materials to make new products like tiles. If you are able to do, for example, granite slurry or solid waste generated from granite polishing units, that you can convert it to tiles and use it as pavers and all, and recover energy is possible, and safe disposal of waste to landfill as inert waste. Mechanical sorting process, bar screening, magnetic separator, air classifier. This is provided by that one facility identified by BBMP near airport. Main issues in C&D waste: absence of segregation of waste at source, lack of appropriately located recycling facilities, indifferent attitude of citizens towards waste management due to lack of awareness. It is costing them. That's why they may not be comfortable for disposal up to that distance. Airport is about a 40 to 50, 60 kilometers. So the transportation is costing to the generators. So they may say you dump nearby area. So contractor, what he does is dispose it near the lakes or roadside and cause nuisance. If BBMP or local authorities identify the contractor, they can charge heavily. In Belandur catchment area, it was BBMP has notified to charge 5 lakhs per truck. Like that, it may be BBMP may notify for the penalties also, and illegal landfill practices done by contractors for saving the money. That is the one. Key requirement for waste management: type, quantity of, quality of waste, measures for reducing waste generation, on-site waste sorting, on-site and off-site reuse, areas of waste storage, quantities of waste requiring off-site disposal, monitoring, auditing programs. Because during transportation, it should not cause traffic congestion, air pollution to the commuters. That should be properly covered and disposed. I think I have covered all the chapters. You can see, you have to reduce, reuse, recycle, refurbish until man duplicates a blade of grass. Nature can laugh at his so-called scientific knowledge. This is Newton told like this about hundreds of years back. So unless we take care of our environment properly, reduce, reuse, recycle, reduce the usage of fossil fuels, reduce consumption of water, air judicially, and stop pollution, we cannot achieve anything. For further information, guidance, or any query on pollution measures, environmental issues, you please contact us. We are there to support you. Our email is prakriti@egssspl.com. Our institute is located in Sadashiv Nagar, Prakriti Institute of Environmental Studies, Bengaluru. Through your professors or lecturers, you can approach us, or directly also you can call us. We will certainly help you for your any projects and etc. Thank you.